Hey everyone, I'm Sage Valentine and welcome to my channel of the same name. Right now I'm going to review for you guys The Walking Dead Season 5 Episode 16 entitled Conquer. So what did I think about this episode? If Father Gabriel's character does not change in Season 6, I think it's about time for him to go. And I do love Seth Gilliam. I've said this many times during this season, but Father Gabriel's just getting on my nerves, and I'm still trying to figure out why they changed his character and made him like as weak as he is when in the comic book he's a lot stronger. When Father Gabriel fell over after killing that walker and that man, I was just cracking up because of the way that he fell over. I'm sure I'm not the only person who was. I don't think it was intentional that they made that scene a little bit comedic, but let me tell you, I'm still laughing about it and I really shouldn't. The Walking Dead tried it 2 times this episode when Glenn got shot and Daryl and Aaron were overcome by all those walkers in that in the yard of that food warehouse. Like, I was just like, Glenn cannot die. Let me pause this. Let me stop this. I had to leave the room, then come back and take a breath because I was like, I love Glenn. Please don't hurt Glenn anytime soon. Yes, I already know what happened to Glenn in the comic books. You guys don't have to tell me, but I was like, no, he can't go out like this. Not with Nicholas. And when it came down to the point where Glenn had to decide whether or not he was going to kill Nicholas, let me tell you, I wanted him to shoot Nicholas so bad. Even though Nicholas was crying and blubbering, I just wanted him to, because I'm still mad that Nicholas not only got those 4 people killed and didn't even bat an eye about that, but he ended up getting Noah killed. But I think that Glenn didn't kill him because he realized that Nicholas is a fool and that he doesn't know any better. And as Rick and others have said in the second half of this season, since they've reached Alexandria, clearly these Alexandrians know nothing about outside. Seeing a couple walkers stumble across their path has not prepared them for what the hell is definitely coming. Now, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, so please forgive me. And Daryl and Aaron, for the most part, being together, I totally ship that as a bro TP, those two as best buds. I'm loving it. I'm so glad if 2 characters are together at this point as friends. Those 2 definitely are. And I'm glad that Aaron did not allow Daryl to sacrifice himself, because Aaron realized, listen, it was my idea for us to come here and try to get this food out of here. Daryl, you didn't know about that trap. And thank goodness for Morgan, though. However, his little faux pas of trying to save all life is probably going to get him killed, as it ended up getting Bob killed when Tyrese did not kill that dude in that cabin when he should have. And those wolves are definitely going to descend upon Alexandria. Probably in the first few episodes of Season 6, I wouldn't put it past them. But it was really good seeing Morgan, popping out. And we were able to see that he's okay, and that apparently it was true that he was following the group. And he, I guess, had turned around in circles, because when he was talking to Aaron and Daryl, and he told them how he was like kind of confused and he had that map, and then Daryl put 2 and 2 together, and Daryl figured out this is that Morgan that Rick has been talking about, which I thought that was cool. As far as Sasha goes, Sasha is still dealing and grieving with what happened to her brother Tyrese, what happened to Bob, and most recently what happened to Noah. Like, she's trying to come to terms with these things, and a lot of people have, compared her to the comic book Andrea character, because the one in the TV show was a complete 180 from the character that still exists in the comic book. And I'm glad that she did not succumb to Father Gabriel's whole blame game that he tried to put on her, because it wasn't her fault that Tyrese, Noah, and Bob died. It was Father Gabriel's fault, because if he was a stronger character, then Tyrese would never have gone in that house alone with Noah. He could have been on that running group with Aiden, Nicholas, Eugene, and Tara, and Glenn with Noah or instead of Noah, then if he had told Rick, like, listen, yeah, I was in and out of this store getting stuff, but I really didn't look in that basement, then maybe Bob wouldn't have been bitten. So nobody feels sorry for Father Gabriel. Let's be completely honest. Now, as far as Pete goes, I really feel like this when it comes to him. I think that he was using Rick's whole situation as an excuse when he yelled out, oh, it's all Rick's fault if Rick wasn't here, basically trying to get Rick kicked out, I guess, so he could continue beating on whatever the hell he was doing to Jesse. And I think that they put him in Michonne's house. That's how he was able to get her katana, because after Carol threatened him and he hit the wall or something, was knocking stuff over, I think he knocked the katana off the mantelpiece that Michonne had built. Was it a mantelpiece or like a wall, like shelf type thing that she built? As far as Glenn goes, I'm glad that Glenn did not kill Nicholas, even though I wanted Nicholas to go. And I feel like, unfortunately, Glenn came to one of two conclusions. Either he could kill Nicholas and then possibly get the group and Rick in even more trouble, or he probably looked at Nicholas like, this guy has no idea what he's doing. He's a weakling, even though he thinks that he's pretty strong because he can shoot a couple things, shoot a few walkers, and call it a day. But unfortunately, I'm afraid of what's happening to Glenn, because it feels to me kind of like, or Alexandria is kind of softening Glenn, and in that sense, I'm kind of worried about him, because we all know what happens to the people who end up softening and, being, pro-life, pro-live, and being the voice of reason, as we've seen in this season and previous seasons. Now, regarding Michonne and Rick, they are growing closer. What you think of it, hey, it's up to you guys. I'm not going to fight you down, but as far as what I think about it, they are definitely growing closer emotionally. And it definitely trumps the comment that was made on The Talking Dead by actress Alexandria Breckenridge when she said that Rick has never had an emotional connection with any woman on The Walking Dead. I guess she forgot about Sarah Wayne Callies, aka Lori Grimes, and how much Rick loved her. How there was a bit of a twinkle between Rick and Andrea for like a split second in season 2. Trust me, I've watched that season more than once, and I've seen it's like a little bit there. And then there's this whole thing with him and Michonne, whereas, no, it hasn't been like this big, huge romance, kissing, loving, rolling through the grass type thing, but there's something definitely there. And that whole thing with Rick and Jesse at this point seems like it's on the rocks, because Jesse really, honestly, kind of turned a cold shoulder to Rick in this episode, because Jesse did not defend Rick in this episode as far as Michonne did, because Michonne is definitely his number 2, and she's proved during this episode that she is literally a ride or die chick for Rick, which completely goes against what Carol said about, or tried to allude to, the fact that she's a little suspicious of Michonne. She has no reason to be suspicious of Michonne. Michonne is there for the group. Fans don't have to be suspicious of her either, because she is there for the group. She even said it to Rick, like, I was not going to turn on you guys, and I didn't hit you over the head just to save face for Alexandria. I did it to protect you. And she, like I said before, was 100% correct, because Rick was out of control. And she had to save him from himself. And that is definitely something that Rick has done in the past and would have done to his own self. Somebody put on Twitter that season 1 Rick would have knocked the hell out of season 5 Rick, because he was literally out of his mind. As far as how this whole dynamic between these two is going to go in the next couple seasons, at this point it's up in the air, but clearly there's like a little spark between those two, and hey, I'm here for it. Hey, I like The Walking Dead. Romance, no romance. Violence, no violence. I'm here for this show, because I love season 2. And season 2, the first half, was probably the most hated group of episodes up until Sophia was revealed to be a zombie. I still love season 2. I still have a place in my heart for that. And it was pretty telling when Rick was about to give his gun to Michonne, and Michonne put her hand on top of the gun and said, "No, Rick." She was like, "No." And she told him, "Listen, we don't need Alexandria. They need us. 100% correct. I'm still with you, Rick. And something is going to happen, Rick. Just don't make something happen." In other words, she's telling him, calm it down, slow your roll. You don't have to do what we did with Terminus, with the prison, with Woodbury. We can kind of hash this out, you know, mano a mano. And it was definitely a culture shock for the Alexandrians to see Rick walking in covered in blood, facial-wise, carrying that walker and just dropping it down to the ground in the middle of that meeting. And when he just spoke the truth and he told them, like, listen, what these people outside and the walkers, they want what we have in here. Basically cementing or revealing or just reminding Deanna, like, listen, you guys need us. You want to put me out, but you guys are completely unprotected. And when he revealed that, you know, Spencer left his post, nobody was at the gate was open, and then Spencer was like, well, I told Father Gabriel to close the gate, and everybody's looking at him like, Father Gabriel, especially the group, like, of all people, you let this nut, especially after he was running around lying about, come on now, because Father Gabriel, ugh, don't even get me started on him. That's a whole nother video for me. But, as far as the ending goes, besides the things that kind of pissed me off just a little bit, if I'm following the words of a Michael Kuzlitz, the good things that did happen in this episode was that Abraham and Eugene made up, and Abraham apologized to Eugene, and Eugene apologized to Abraham. Tara opened her eyes, and she's doing fine, and Glenn was helping Nicholas walk, and I guess go back to Alexandria, and Sasha, Maggie, and Father Gabriel sat down and had a prayer circle, and they prayed together. But I think the best part of that ending, besides all of that, had to be the part where the two wolves hit that button after they killed the poor Poncho dude and started up what I call the Walking Dead dance party. And I swear, maybe it's just me, but I could have sworn I saw walkers kind of like dancing their way back into the little containers. It's the cutest thing. And it was like, I guess, going with the dynamic of Rick saying the Alexandrians are, you guys are not ready, but you need to be. And you could see that dude, one of the wolves, looking through the pictures and stuff, and I guess Pete dropped his bag, so now this dude knows that there's some type of, like, sanctuary or something somewhere around here, and you can bet your bottom dollar that he is going to come with this other dude, and possibly whoever else is involved in this, and, try to attack it or take it over. And I still believe that little Enid is involved in this in some way, shape, or form. Like she was taking them food or helping them and stuff like that. And that ending of, you know, Morgan seeing Rick and seeing how Rick has become, or the way he perceives Rick as crazy as he was, that was definitely awesome. And I'm mad that we have to wait until October. But I am happy that that companion series will be airing this summer, late this summer. I think it's late July, early August on AMC. All I remember was they said it was late this summer. I'm watching it, definitely, so don't even ask. And that's about it, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will be going to Walker Stalker 2015 as well, because adore this show so much. Don't forget to rate this video, leave your comments, let me know what you thought about this episode and where you think season 6 is going to go, and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to start reviewing 2 more shows, The Red Road from Sundance and AMC's Mad Men. So until next time, check me out Twitter, Sage Valentine, and Google+, Sage Valentine. I love you all. I'll see you guys later for my review of the following. Bye, guys. Bye.